It is all about the UEFA Champions League and a fairy tale of one club that thought that they will be able to make it to the promised land and then get a glimpse of that title, but they could not even go far. Another Champions League dream has slipped away in Arsenal's fingers, and this time the heartbreak came in Paris. 19 years they suffered. 19 years ago they suffered the same thing, but now 2025 they're suffering another. So it's like affliction hitting them a second time. A 2-1 second leg defeat to Paris Saint-Germain ended their European journey at the semi-final stage, of course making it the first time since 2004 that the final will not feature clubs from England, clubs from Spain or Germany. History has been made. Now, despite a spirited start, 12 attempts on goal, Arsenal were punished for their wastefulness, while Paris Saint-Germain, driven by goals from Fabian Ruiz and Achraf Hakimi, they were very clinical on the day. Bukayo Saka's second half strike restored some hope, but the Gunners could not find the cutting edge they needed on the day. So the big question still lies, where did it all go wrong for Mikel Arteta's charges? The question we're still asking, the question the fans are already answering. Now, following that exit of Arsenal from the UEFA Champions League, fans across social media, they wasted no time. They were trolling the North London club. You can see all the funny trolls on air. Even on social media, we saw funny memes, sarcastic posts. We saw hashtag Arsenal bottle jobs. And the butler, of course, is Mikel Arteta. All these hashtags began to trend as rivals. They mocked the Gunners once again for falling short at this big stage. Now, from the jabs about the lack of European silverware to jokes about Arteta's best team comments, the internet turned into a roasting session, with many fans labeling Arsenal's performance as yet another chapter in their long history of near misses. I really love to relish things like this. And let's have an Arsenal fan join us right now, and a sport journalist from Lagos, Nigeria. We have Kingsley Akpan. Thank you so much, Kingsley. Kingsley, I would have just given you, a bucket at this time, but I would leave the bucket. But you're welcome to the show. How do you feel, Kingsley? Have you checked your BP of late?
Yeah, I feel very great. So yeah, it's good to see you again. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Kingsley.
I feel very, very, very great. And, why I said I feel great is this. I think the cracks and the complaints that a lot of persons are talking about right now are the things that I said at the start of the season. And I mentioned it clearly that this team will find it difficult to compete at the highest level without a proper number 9. Now, two key things that we need to look at.
Okay.
Yes, Arsenal beat Real Madrid at the last round, and a lot of persons felt it papered over the cracks that this team don't have a proper number 9. That's one. And then secondly, Mikel Arteta's tactical prowess. I just feel that to some extent, maybe he has a mental block. He gets to a point and it's just bigger. The occasion is bigger than Mikel Arteta. It happened, in the last 2 seasons where, people said, he bottled the league. It's because when it gets to the point where you need to raise the morale, raise the energy, raise the tempo of your team. I don't know if Arteta doesn't know the right thing to say or the right thing to say or how to motivate these players, and that's why you see that. They finished second 2 seasons ago, finished second last season where they ought to have won the league on both occasions, and then this time around also, you get to the semi-final of the Champions League, you look like one of the best sides because at the start of the semi-finals, when we checked the statistics, Opta rated Arsenal the best team or the most likely team to get into the final because they felt that, if you could beat Real Madrid, you can do the job against PSG. But what happened? Now, you missed Thomas Partey in the first leg. Let's even say, Arsenal lost at home in the first leg. Now, the weekend preceding the return leg, of all the 4 teams that played in the semi-final of the Champions League, only one team lost, Arsenal, at home. The other 2 sides, Inter Milan and Barcelona, played a draw. PSG won away from home. Now, the other 3 teams, the managers rested 90 to 95% of their players that they would need to prosecute the second leg. But the Mikel Arteta, who was already disadvantaged and was taking a deficit away from home, played his first 11 in the league. And you have just a very key game 2 or 3 days later, and he still lost that game. It's about the mentality. It's about how you see this thing. There are things that you do as a coach.
Okay.
And even your opposition or opponent will be scared.
All right. Kingsley, I know you've been able to identify...
that at some point,
okay,
Arsenal did not have the legs.
Okay. Kingsley...
At some point, Arsenal did not have the legs to carry on against PSG, because these players had played the weekend and then travel again to Parc des Princes. And see, you can't blame people who are, either making jest of the team and, trolling the team. Even at the Parc des Princes, I saw where they wrote Arsenal, bottling it for since 2026. They now said Saka. They put a question mark and said he's a Timu Anthony. So you can't blame
not forget that one.
because you get to where you have to win it. You don't win it.
All right, Kingsley.
I don't know.
All right, Kingsley, I need to come in here right now. You can see that Arsenal made 21 shots. They could not even just convert all those 21, and they got the possession more in that game against Paris Saint-Germain. So maybe with these statistics, Coach Mikel Arteta, he responded to the loss in a very combative fashion. He claimed that Arsenal were as good as Paris Saint-Germain and good as champions, but they were just unlucky to have been beaten at the Parc des Princes. Let's listen to him. When we come back, you have to react to that.
When you analyze both games, who has been their best player, their MVP, has been the same player, the goalkeeper. And the Champions League is decided in the boxes, and he's won the game for them, because obviously today, after 20 minutes, and what happened in London as well, the result should have been very different. So 2 years ago, nobody believed that we could even probably qualify for the Champions League. Not even think that we could finish second or compete the league, or have the amount of points that we had, that in any other year you are champion, or have the run and the results and the performances that we have in the Champions League. But the reality at the end is you need something to lift that trophy with all the work that we do, and disappointment is that it's not going to happen.
And of course, the butler, he's got something to be proud of. Kingsley, you've listened to Mikel Arteta, but I need to really ask you right now, even after that comment from Mikel Arteta, what does this elimination say about Arsenal's progress under Arteta, especially on the European scene? Is it a near miss, or maybe a sign that they are not quite ready yet for that big stage?
Well, I feel that Arsenal are closer to the big boys than being farther off them. If you look at where Arsenal they're coming from, but the excuse that Arteta is dropping, I don't think that you need this excuse. You see, when it comes to the best side, they tell you that the best side are always efficient. If you have 21 shots, either on goal or on target, you need somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. So it means that the same PSG that we are talking about, Liverpool beat this PSG, but they were knocked out. Aston Villa had this PSG on the ropes, but they were knocked out because they couldn't get one extra goal. Arsenal lost to PSG home and away. So what exactly is Arteta being proud of? If you had a striker, your striker would have known where to put the ball.
He should be proud. He should be proud of the goalkeeper, David Raya.
City won the Champions League.
At least the goalkeeper made a very crucial save that extended the hopes of Arsenal fans. You can remember that Evra did say that he's worried about Arsenal fans, that's what he's worried about and not the team. So I think Arteta was a bit proud that Raya could save that penalty.
Well, Raya saving the penalty, in the long run, really had no effect on the game. Arsenal still lost to Man away. You have to give kudos to him. Yes, I know. But then, let's not take away the fact that you need to be efficient. You see, last season, Real Madrid won the Champions League. A lot of us are forgetting that Vinicius Junior, Bellingham are those that people praised a lot. But in their semi-final game against Bayern, they looked like they were down and out until Ancelotti brought in Joselu, a traditional and recognized striker who turned the game around. You can't say you want to win big and not have a striker. Even the almighty Pep still had to go and get Erling Haaland before he could win the Champions League. Get a striker. I feel Arsenal fans should be patient with Arteta for one extra season. get a marquee striker, a Victor Gyökeres, Isak, or a Victor Osimhen, maintain this same squad, don't change anything. And then if you now fail to either win the league or the Champions League, then you can let him go. Maybe he has gotten to his ceiling, let another top manager come in, like you see what Hansi Flick is doing with the same Barcelona side that Xavi struggled with and was taunted with. See Luis Enrique. Enrique has taken PSG to the Champions League final. So bring in an experienced guy, and I think it's Arsenal boys. They have the quality. They can win big.
Okay. I'll be hoping that he can take this. I wish he can hear this right now, because he's got someone who he can learn from, maybe, on how to execute his tactics with Arsenal. With all the troll and every single clapback we have been seeing on social media, what would be your message, Kingsley, at this time to Arsenal fans? We have a lot at News Central TV, so you may send a consolatory message to them. What would be your response to the trolls?
Okay, so it's sports. It's the game of football. You win some, you lose some. Now, I'll tell you why I think opposition fans, they troll Arsenal fans so much. It's because of how Arsenal fans act or react, to situations. Now, but if other teams get to maybe find themselves in a position where Arsenal find, themselves, they are not this, loud or proud. But I can tell you for free that we Arsenal fans, we used to take it to the extreme. And that's why opposition fans are always waiting for Arsenal fans, just waiting for the team to maybe capitulate or maybe bottle it, and then they come at Arsenal. Do you know how long these butlers have been? It's been for a very long time, and I feel that up until maybe the management of the club find a way to get in a winner, like a manager with a winning mentality. This is Arteta's first managerial job, so we cannot really blame him. He's doing his best. Okay. It's the best I can offer. Until they bring in a winner who will win the UEFA Champions League for Arsenal, win Arsenal back the EPL, this trolling will continue. So, hey, Arsenal fans, I think we just need to be humble. And it also stems from the fact that you look at Arteta. Arteta too, that's how Arteta speaks. If you hear Arteta speak, you would think it's a combination of Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola, that he has won maybe 14
But it did not download. It did not download to 100%. No, it seems Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola did not download to 100% to make Arteta.
Yeah, maybe they didn't download. But if you hear him speak, he's very proud, and he speaks as if I've won it all and all of that. Maybe if the manager also becomes humble, then looks himself in the mirror. So when you do well,
so he should listen. He should be able to listen to Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland did tell him, of course, last year that he should be humble. Be humble. So I think Erling Haaland was saying something, looking at the future, to give him that warning.
Yeah. So I think Haaland knows some things that we might not know. It was their assistant coach. Maybe they knew how he speaks and the things that he does. You win first before you brag. You don't brag before winning. Arteta won just the FA Cup in his first season. That was not his full season. In his last 5 full seasons, he has failed to win anything tangible for Arsenal, and he has the board has invested almost £700 million on this team. So you need to win something significant. In 5 years, finish 8th, and then second, and even the second for this year is not sure Arsenal will finish second. Arsenal just 3 points behind Man City. What happens if Arsenal lose to Liverpool and City gets to win? The second is not even sure. So why the pride? Liverpool, win, and then we will even brag on your behalf. But you don't have to brag, and that's why you see that all of these, fans, opposition fans will come and troll Arsenal whenever Arsenal bottled it, because it looks like this team will keep bottling it under Mikel Arteta until a serial winner comes to take charge of this Arsenal side.
Okay. All right, we'll be waiting and crossing our fingers until that happens. But the truth about it is it's a great thing that you can speak, putting emotions behind you to just speak objectively. Thank you so much, Kingsley Akpan. Please just be patient with the team. I'm sure that they can come through anytime soon. You will not bottle the league next season. Just trust me. Thank you so much, Kingsley.
Oh, Are you sure Arsenal will even compete next season for the league? City will be back. United will compete. Other top teams will fight for it. So, hey.
Just get the hope for the year, hope for the season too. Thank you so much, Kingsley. Interesting talking to you, and I'm hoping that we can do this again and again on the show. Do have a lovely day.
All right, have a lovely day too.
You too.